Not
Model
only am
for
I
us?
amazing looking, but so is my shirt.
Go ahead and model. That's what I'm saying.
Right there. Oh, this is covered down.
So make sure to check them out. Not subscribe, but click on Scranton Road Promotional Ministry. And if you need swag for your ministry, youth ministry, family reunions, anything like that, make sure to check them out. Hi, Mike. What's up? Real men don't eat quiche.
You ever heard that? It's just a common phrase.
Oh, really?
Apparently, those men have never tried it. I love quiche. I'm not afraid.
I tried it one time. We don't do quiche.
And I'm like quintessential man. So, what you gonna do about that?
Alrighty.
What is your problem?
So we were gonna talk about.
You got a lot of problems.
I do got a lot of problems actually. Wow, people don't want to come and see us.
Where's everybody? You're not gonna sit. You're just gonna sit there and watch us, not say hi.
I said hi to Mike. Nobody else.
No,
wants to
not
say
you.
hi.
Them.
Oh, Gary's here. Look,
You're
look,
right.
look.
Squid dissection again.
Hold on. It actually smells really good. It's probably the ham.
can't have it.
Can't help it but smell good.
You don't like ham that much.
But it's okay. I mean,
Why do you feel that neutral about such a great meat?
It is good.
yeah, it's okay.
Think about all the pork producers watching this right now who are offended.
And bacon.
Yeah, like Janelle, like what pork product is better than ham? Go ahead.
Pork product.
I mean, except for bacon.
Bacon.
Except for bacon. Set that aside.
Pernil. All day.
Have you had ham?
Yeah. Hello.
Like
I'm married to a black man.
Brown sugar glazed.
Yeah, Len makes that.
Spiral cut.
Yes, exactly that. He makes it.
Wow.
Thank you.
I don't know what to do with you.
Miss Theola's here. Miss Anita, Deborah, Tammy, what's up? Angie, what's up? Dr. Jennifer is here. Nancy, what's up? Nancy, who messed up and why aren't we on YouTube?
I think it was you.
You messed up.
No,
Could have
we're
been your
on.
mom.
It was probably Brian. It's okay, cuz don't listen to him.
We're on Chica.
I don't see
On
it,
YouTube.
but I guess if we see a comment, you can catch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do your thing. This is your favorite article. You found it. You're all about this.
So we were talking about ways to improve our marriage without our spouse knowing. I liked it because it's very empowering. You don't have to wait till the other person works on them. In fact, I was reading one of my favorite marriage books by chapter 2. I was like, whoa, there's a whole lot of things I need to change. So in this article, it named a few. We mentioned our favorites. We shared it on Facebook. And one of the things one of the ways that we kind of talked about a lot was, this was this morning around 6:30. Identifying your triggers and catching yourself, like slowing down to like know how to react. Can you share with us, Brian, one of your triggers? I shared mine.
What was yours again? Go ahead, tell him. Yeah, you have to think that hard.
Because I wasn't very specific now that I think about it. It was just like my dad. My dad was great. I always talk about my dad. He was amazing. But there were ways that he engaged with me that were not necessarily great. Sometimes, like I do that with my kids. You lose your patience, whatever. And so that's a trigger in me with Len.
How about
And
another
he's
one?
called it out. No.
I'm chewing. Give us
I
another one.
asked you a question. No, dude, I don't get to eat like that on overtime. So you about to talk. Let's go. Ask
You
a question.
eat during the live radio show.
But I talk. Go ahead.
No, you go like this. You go like, no. Another trigger. Go ahead.
We're waiting. I asked you a question.
You've only got one? Wow.
I asked you a question. Like I said, share one.
A little prideful. Just one?
Wow, so he's not going to do his job.
Let's see. If Sarah were here, she would be giving you a whole lot of triggers. I tend to get super defensive when critique comes in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know why that's a trigger? Is it connected to your childhood? Is it baggage in the relationship?
I think it's common among exceptionally handsome men. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. What do you want me to say? I don't know.
Team Brian is here. Andrew.
We got Andrea telling everybody about it.
Yeah, what's up, Andrea? Sharon's here. I think I know how to hear. So you said you get defensive, and so have you learned of ways to? You've identified it. How? What do you do with it now that you know about it?
I mean, I have. Why are we doing me? What about you?
I just asked you a question.
Wow.
Gosh. What
No,
are
I
triggers
think-
that you have and ways that you've dealt with it, and how does it help you to know and identify your triggers? Just to give examples on what triggers are.
I think half the battle is just knowing it's a thing. Because and that was part of what the article you shared with us talked about is just acknowledging your triggers helps you to be aware of them. So like for example, if
Yeah.
I finally admit to myself, okay, I have a tendency to get defensive, the next time Sarah and I get in an argument, guess what pops in my head?
Don't get defensive. Don't get
Yeah.
defensive.
Or
yeah.
am I being defensive? Or wow, that was defensive.
Yeah.
And that's at least the beginning to be able to get control of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wanna
thanks,
visit
Andrea.
Andrea. She said she found our show, and I like you guys. That is too cool.
Well, thanks, Andrea. That's super sweet. And for the rest of
Andrea,
you, what are you doing? You're not telling your friends about it like that?
Your boys are so cute.
Oh, wow,
Andrea.
they're super cute.
Oh my goodness. I like your hair. Wow, she's pretty. You are so pretty. Let me see. You always say I'm superficial. She's engaged to Trey. That's a cool name. Trey's handsome. Is that okay for me to say?
I don't.
It's so inappropriate to know. He is. Len's handsome too. My husband's handsome.
But notice what Andrea did. She went all out. She's like tagging her friends in
That's
here to
what
be part of
I'm
this.
saying.
Meanwhile, the rest of you just sit there and say stuff. Just kidding.
No. I don't see nobody else tagging. Andrea said, "Aw." Angie says, "I try to be more conscious about where I am in my mind all the time. I tend to always be in a defensive mode because I'm a fighter by nature, defending others, etc. So I have to remind myself to stop and listen. There may be no reason to defend." I get defensive too, but one thing I learned throughout the years is like, I don't gotta prove that I know everything. So it's like that's simple.
Because you do. You don't have to prove it. That's what that sounded like.
No. Like it's always the fear of whatever.
I know what you meant, but it sounded like I don't gotta prove to people that I know everything.
Gary is out of line. Can you control your people?
There you go, Gary.
He's out of line. Yeah, like it's okay to be like, oh, I messed up. Like I had put so much energy in trying to, no, I didn't get it wrong. Like it's okay to just be like, oh man, I could have done it better.
Early on, Sarah and I found in our marriage that one of the triggers for both of us were absolutes.
Yeah.
Like, you always,
Oh, yeah.
or you never, Okay, those come up early in marriage all the time.
Yeah.
And what would happen is the fight would degenerate to me proving whatever the absolute was not true.
Yeah.
Be like, Brian, you never. I'd be like, oh yeah? Remember last week?
Yeah.
And I did this? Not true. What are we avoiding? The actual issue
Yes.
where there's something that happened that hurt my wife and she needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Not me proving to her that I don't always do it. And so we'll catch ourselves. We'll be like, you always... Wait, no, that's not fair. That's an absolute.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh, that's good. So you catch that.
We do that out loud when we're arguing. I don't know if you and Lenny
See,
do that.
Mike knows about pernil. It's pork shoulder. He says baked for 6+ hours with a dry rub is better than ham. It is way better than ham. And when we season it on special occasions, you season it hours before, you let it marinate, let it sit. It's like a big process. It is amazing.
And then Rob wants a bite of quiche that I'm eating. After all that junk you talk about me, you're over on Team Janelle, and you think I'm going to share some quiche with you, Rob? You're a great guy, but please, get your hands off my quiche.
Andrea says, this is so true, it's something she was talking to her husband about. Yeah, identifying triggers. The other thing is we're very good at identifying other people's triggers and focusing on that. I think sometimes that trips us out in terms of like identifying your own. Because when you get into the conflict, you're constantly seeing, look at you, all defensive. Like constantly looking out instead of realizing, what am I doing?
But then see, even if you don't verbalize it, suddenly you're never going to solve the conflict or any conflict. Why? Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Len's in his head going, here she goes.
Yes.
She's defensive again.
Yeah.
He's not hearing anything you're saying.
Yeah.
He's not changing the way he presents it so that you're not defensive.
Yeah.
Because honestly, sometimes just like, I would call it a negative sandwich when I was doing conferences with students that were failing or something. So the sandwich is defined by what's in the middle of it, right? So you're having a ham sandwich. So, okay, ham, because ham's better. A negative sandwich would be, hey, Mrs. Johnson, I love having Jimmy in class. He's such a bright light when he enters the room. He's failing miserably. Hasn't done any work. But I tell you what, I really appreciate having him in the class. So I'm sandwiching
I like
the negative feedback. So what you could do, I mean, I think with the non-defensive spouse could go, you know, I really see how hard you try to please me and do things that I like. There was one thing that happened recently, though, that really hurt my feelings when you said da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But please remember, I know you love me, and you're trying to do your best.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Do you see how when you create that concept, you're not just going, there you go again, you're just mean to me. That's what you are, you're mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert said, number 1, Janelle recruited me. Number 2, are those Christian values? And number 3, I love you, Brian.
Number 1, she did not recruit you. Number 2, you're in her team just because you knew her before you knew me, which is total bias. It's not based on facts, it's just based on familiarity. Number 3, I'm about to finish my quiche, you can't have any.
Oh my goodness. Pork roast is much better than ham. That's not the shoulder, right? I got a problem with knowing the names of food, but can you help me with that? What's the roast?
What roast?
Like what part of
Pork
the
roast?
pork is roast?
I think
I
it's
don't know.
pork butt, isn't it, Kelly? You're the
Yeah.
chef.
I was gonna say.
There's a whole
but, like,
bunch of different cuts that can be a
yeah,
roast.
But like pork butt is actually shoulder.
Oh, it is the shoulder.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
which is
Well.
delicious, especially if
the
you put it in a
best.
smoker.
Oh, it's the best. We have some. We just had some because the chef in our house. We got a whole lot of people in my house.
It's not her.
But it's not because Joel is amazing and that's the way he wants to help. So thank you. I've been cooking for years. All these kids. But he's a good cook and he made the shoulder and it's amazing.
Do
David
you know what my
says
favorite meal you made was?
what?
The park, remember?
What did I make? I forgot what I made.
Her kids and her met Sarah and I and our kids at the park. She was wrapping up while she's driving, eating her Chipotle.
I know that's
Here was the kids' meal. She brought it out.
Oh yeah.
A loaf of white bread and a Tupperware of lukewarm hot dogs.
Basically. That's what they're getting. Basically. We're going to the park, dude. David says Brian is awesome.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, Andrea.
She'll
said-
find out, Dave.
Yeah.
What did she say? Is she talking trash?
No, she's saying she can't decide on teams yet.
Whoa, Andrea.
Really?
It's obvious. You gotta like pretend like you're on her team, but we know what team you're on, Andrea.
It's so cool to have you here, Andrea. Make sure to continue to come every day at 9:05 and then listen to the show, check out the podcast, subscribe to YouTube and Facebook. And it's time to go. Gary says, Andrea, if you like winning. Oh, please. Who won this week? Who won this week?
Gary.
Thank you.
Gary's so funny. You see, if you like winning.
Oh, please.
All right, Janelle said it's time to go.
Peace out.
Oh wow, Rob claimed. Too bad. It's too late. I ate all the.